Like news.
All good?
Alright, my name is Irfan. Hello, welcome back. This is Loose Bearings. I have Min here with me.
What's up?
What up, guys?
Not Jeff. Not Jeff today.
Today Jeff on leave. Watch F1 yesterday. He's scared because Verstappen lose already, right?
He lost his shit yesterday.
Okay.
Bezel laughing. Bezel.
You're not into F1, are you, Pham?
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah, like my partner used to work for like Pico, and then she had like free pass to go watch the F1. It's not my thing, man. Yeah.
Alright, before we start for the podcast for this episode, this is brought to you by. No, I'm kidding. Just no sponsor today.
Nice. Some donuts.
Biscuits.
Mini
donuts.
Yeah,
Mini
look
donuts.
like mini donut right there.
Alright, then
Okay.
roll the music.
That's cool. Alright.
Alright, Pham.
Yo. What's up, guys?
You have graciously decided to come and join us today.
Thanks for having me.
Very
Welcome.
grateful for you to come down.
Appreciate it.
You're not cold, right? You're in a singlet, dude. I'm like in a
man.
hoodie.
No, he's
Sweaty palm, right?
sweaty palm, so he's
I need to
always
stay cool.
body is always heated.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it's
I
fine.
need to be like-
I feel so hot. Right?
Yeah, I'm good.
Alright.
Yeah.
Let's start off with the question that we always do with our guests.
Okay.
How did you start skateboarding? Or how did skateboarding find you?
Okay, it's been a journey, man. So in my secondary school. Okay, so what happened was my family members, they're all like national athlete.
Okay.
So my dad is a national skier,
Uh-huh.
and after that my brother was like a national wakeboarder. And I didn't manage to continue the family legacy because I busted my nerve twice in my brain. I have a face plant once. The first one I was in Batam, the cable ski, before like Singapore even have that circle one, the at
Yeah,
ECP.
the one the lagoon.
Yeah, Lagoon. So the first one was actually at Batam. So
Okay.
my elder brother, he always conduct like clinics. So we take the bum boat and then we go there and then, do our shit and then come back. So I usually wakeboard behind the boat. So that very day, my brother was like, you want to try something new, cable ski or cable wakeboarding is like something new. Up and coming. So I was like, okay, let's go for a ride. So on my second try, I got up. So the arena is a little bit different from the one at ECP. ECP is a bit like circular. So that one is a little bit more rectangular where all the pros at the four corners, they will like load up the line and do their shit, like, all their inverts.
They load up for the jump.
Yeah, load up the line and then like just spring off. So I was just happy, just cruising. Forgot which direction I was supposed to be leaning. And then suddenly the line just pulled and then I caught edge and then I just face plant and
On the grass or on the
on the water. On the water surface. So it's like
that's like concrete, dude.
yeah, like someone slapped me real hard. So after that I got out, I was like double vision. Somehow I unbuckled my life vest and I said, okay, let me take a break. So I leaned back and then that's it, man. I
No, you don't
fainted.
remember.
Yeah, I fainted and then the wind blew me to the lalang and I was in the water for like I don't know how long before someone, like my brother was busy coaching, so found me, called an ambulance, went to the Batam hospital. So they were just telling, say, oh, don't worry about your bro, he just maybe like fainted, he'll be fine. But I was like motionless, so my brother was like super worried. Took another ferry and then the ambulance was waiting for me and then I was warded, did a CT scan and then there was a blood clot in my brain. Yeah, so fast forward, I got banned from wakeboarding because after I was discharged, like the doctor said, 6 months I cannot have any impact. So I need like the brain, the vessel to like stabilize and the blood clot to like dissolve. Like young and dumb, right?
Yeah.
I went and right behind the boat again and then I face plant again. This time I got fits. In the middle of the night I got fits and then I was like,
Okay.
like spasm and I couldn't move. Went to the hospital again. Everything like I don't know, everybody was pissed with my decision and blah blah blah. My mom was pissed, my dad was pissed, so they made an announcement saying no more wakeboarding for this guy. So I need to find like an outlet. So in my school I was studying from Gimo. There's a couple of legend. I don't know if anybody in Singapore know. There's like Abu Bakar, and then there's another guy. Ali. There's one guy called Ali from Skate Academy. He's from my school too.
Okay.
Yeah, so we kind of all grew up skating. So I was like a beginner and they were already like
This
pretty
is at
good.
what age? What, 13, 14?
I picked up skateboarding maybe like, let me think, when I was like coming almost Act 2, I think.
14.
Yeah, but prior to that, I was a little bit lost, like after the wakeboarding thing,
Mm-hmm.
I pick up BMX, didn't make it, pick up rollerblade, aggressive inline. I kind of like it, but I just don't like the idea of having to, remove it, and then you got to bring a pair of extra shoe wherever you go.
Yeah,
When you take
correct.
the MRT, you can't just rock that shit up, right?
Yeah.
You need to remove and change out. So after I think aggro for about maybe a year,
Uh-huh.
and I saw all my homies skateboarding at Gimo area, and then I was like intrigued. I was like, oh, that's pretty sick. So I got like a loan. I didn't even have my own board. I loaned like a crappy, I think California Pro setup
Uh-huh.
from my neighbor, and I
It
just
always starts with a borrowed board.
yeah, like a
Always starts
loaner
with-
board,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So maybe you're young and broke, and parents don't want you to get into something like dangerous. So I was like, okay, then I just get a loaner board. So just practice how to cruise and stuff like that. Bomb a little bit of slope on the hill, and then see all my fellow schoolmates like doing flips and grinds and stuff. So I was like, okay, this is something cool. I can carry my board, walk around. I don't have to change out or anything. So that's how I kind of started my journey at Gimo. Then slowly venture out to Holland Village. There's some skate spots right there, and then 26 years later, bro.
Still doing it.
Yeah, still
doing it.
still trying to skate. Yeah, having 3 surgeries already, 2 on my knee, on my left knee, and then 1 on my right ankle. Still blessed in a way, still can skate a little bit, Not like my prime days, but still able to chill skate, have fun.
Can push around. At least you
Yeah,
can
I can
manage
push
to-
around, can jump, still a little bit of flip, shove it, no comply, still okay. Nah, no more jumping downstairs and crazy stuff
You
like that.
mentioned just now, we spoke before this.
Yeah.
You mentioned that you started skating or getting to know your friend group until now,
Yeah,
which is at the youth park.
yeah.
The first is the slopey skateboard, the
Okay.
skate park.
Yes.
You mentioned, right?
So the slopey skate park, I would say 90% of the skaters are no longer skating.
True.
Yeah,
True.
everybody grew up. Some too much injury, some got family commitment, work, etc. Or the interest and passion just phase out. Yeah, I have still pretty tight knit of friends who are still skating. There's one legend, Vicky. Yeah, that guy is my homie. He's still skating. And then I would say the rest of the whole, as I grew up, I was skating in town. All the town skaters, most of them are gone. Then after that, I got close to all the Go Sports boys. Yeah.
Did you actually work at Go Sport for a bit?
Yeah, I was working at Go Sport for I think a good 4 to 5 years, from OG Center Point to what is that place called? Escape. Yeah, I was juggling between these 2 locations, and yeah, that's about it, man.
How's it like working for Uncle Eddie?
Ooh, Uncle Eddie, when he was he's a pretty strict boss. He's strict. He wants things to be done a certain way, but I appreciate that. As a boss, everything needs to be organized, and you need things to be running smoothly. And I was young and being a skateboarder, and then being a punctual is
It's
a
a bit of a
thing. Yeah,
rebellious thing.
the skater timing kind of thing.
It's just a skater and BMX timing.
Yeah.
It's like, well, why be on time when I can be late?
Yeah, I mean you ask your homie, okay, let's meet at this spot at 2 p.m.
Yeah,
and then
3
you roll
PM,
up.
everybody
Yeah,
just,
3,
"Hey, I
3
just
p.m.
left, bro."
Oh, I just kind of leaving the house. So yeah, so this the skater timing thingy, and then Uncle Eddie wasn't too pleased about that. Sorry, Uncle Eddie, I'm a changed man now. Yeah, but
Did you ever work at the original skate shop?
the Margaret Drive one?
Yes.
Nah, back then I was just purely skating there. That was a meetup point for all the Go Sport boys. On a Friday night, it would be everybody after school or after work. Everybody will meet there, and then we'll wait for the shop to close, and then everybody will take a bus all together to town to just skate or CBD and just vibe.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, enjoy the Friday week session.
All right.
Yeah.
So Friday skate day or something.
Yeah,
skate
we
night or
just-
something like that.
Yeah, Night Rider. I don't know if you guys know all the young.
Night Rider.
Yeah, all the night. Yeah.
The kids nowadays don't even know what is Night Rider.
Yeah, so
man.
don't disclose my age, guys. But so there's Night Riders. You pay maybe back then was $250.
Yes.
Yeah, and then you get to take some strange journey home at night, and then you think last.
There were strange people on those buses, dude.
Yeah, wasted people, strange people. Yeah, so yeah, Friday skate late, hang out, and just want to get home before the sunrise. So you take the Night Rider. So those of you, all the young bucks that don't know about Night Rider, those vehicle or those transportation save our ass.
yeah,
And the
correct.
anxiety of missing your stop.
Yep,
That's the
yeah.
problem.
When you were
Yeah.
so sleepy and tired, right?
Am I here?
Yeah, and the bus at night was fast.
Yep.
Way faster
Yeah,
than
way
regular
faster.
buses.
I don't know. It's
those
like
who-
they just like
Yeah,
it's
full
speedo
gas,
mode,
bro.
guys.
Yeah, they're
Speedo
like,
mode.
the
Just
uncle
buckle
is
up,
like
guys.
cranky and sleepy, man. You just I want to finish my shift, bro. All these guys are enjoying themselves behind.
You all have a fun night out. Now I'm still driving, guys.
Yeah, true that.
So when you worked at okay, I'm gonna ask you the thing that we discussed.
Yeah.
I got to know you first because your name popped up.
Okay.
I was in the scene, like I think for BMX and skate. I mean, I know a bunch of people.
Okay.
And apparently there was a talent guy from Malaysia
Whoa.
who was doing a commercial.
Okay.
So he was like hunting for talent.
Okay.
And then the brief was to get a guy who is Pan Asian.
Okay.
And then I asked around, and then your name popped up.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know who you were back
Okay.
then. And your name popped up, and then we were like, okay, where do I find Pham?
Okay.
So we had to go down to the skate shop.
Okay.
It was an Indian guy and me.
Okay.
And then we came down to the skate shop, and then like to profile you to see
Okay,
whether you fit
okay.
the fit. I think you minus a few tattoos here and there.
Yeah, back then. Yeah, younger, not so much tattoo.
Not so much
yeah.
tattoos.
Not enough money.
And,
Yeah. True that. Just need to buy skateboard and shoes, man.
It's like, oh,
back
shit,
then.
tattoo or skateboard?
For
skateboard.
skateboard, of course.
And then
Okay.
we finally came down to the shop. I think we went to the OG one, and
Yup.
you were there.
Okay.
And then we profiled you, and I think he kind of liked you, but I don't know whether you fit the actual the
Yeah, but like-
ABC.
Yeah, because I'm not really ABC. I get that sometime. And like people said I'm not China looking, like you
You're
know.
not either or. Like,
Yeah, I'm like Japanese or something like that. Like sometimes ABC, but the truth is, my bloodline is my grandparents are Baba Nyonya.
Okay.
Like Peranakan. Yeah. So I always tell people I'm neither of any of those whatever you are thinking of me as, but yeah, I'm Peranakan, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I see. So that was the first time I saw you.
Okay.
And then I think we even came down to should be at that time. I think ECP already opened, and you
Okay.
actually went down to skate.
Okay. Illegally when the thing was still like shuttered up?
I think it was still shuttered, and then
Okay.
we jumped in, and then
Yeah.
And then
Are we
came
supposed to
see.
say that?
Yeah, it's okay. Skateboarder, trespassing, nothing new. Just to skate at the park.
Like,
Yeah.
ooh, skate park. Oh,
Yeah.
it's closed. Wait,
Yeah,
got
yeah.
opening.
It wasn't. I mean, it was already built.
Yeah.
Just that it wasn't properly handover.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we just want to test the park before everybody else. I think no wrong in that. Yeah, it's still standing till today.
Correct?
Yep.
Oh.
All right, then now we're gonna go into when you started Por Vida.
Okay.
I want to know how you got the name Por Vida.
Okay, so I'm a big fan of like hip hop brands. Back then I was like a big fan of like DGK and then like Diamond Supply Co. So there was one shipment that came in and our uncle brought in this tee. It's a diamond tee with the rosary bit. Like so I got it tattooed. And then now that it stated like Por Vida me something. Like I think it's like diamond for life. Yeah, I was like I kinda like the whole word. So I went and like, translate the meaning of Por Vida.
But Por Vida has a bigger meaning, right? Like
It's in Spanish or Portuguese, it means like for life.
Yeah, for life.
Yeah,
But
so-
there's a like a movement of Por Vida in I think like Costa Rica or something like that.
Oh, okay.
So it's a big thing of like equivalent to like in Hawaii you have Ohana.
Okay.
So Por Vida is like almost the same thing.
Something like a sacred word. Or
Yeah,
something.
something
Okay.
like that. There you go.
So I like it how it sounds. So I was like, hey, maybe I should like, come up with a name like Por Vida skateboarding. It's like skateboarding for life. It means it like means something to me. Yeah, so so how I started Por Vida is because I was working at Go Sports and then I see uncle, at Margaret Drive, some of my fellow skate friends are like coaching. So I was like, okay, maybe I can, juggle between like a sales assistant or sales in charge and then like, juggle a bit of like coaching, something that I like. So fast forward, I met my partner. So she was like, oh man, I haven't seen anybody like 24/7 just like, watching YouTube about skating, talking about skating, when I was at my prime. So like, she can feel and see that I really love skateboarding and it's my passion. I think about it all the time. So she was like, okay, why don't you do something, that's relevant? Like you can skate and maybe you can share your passion through skating and make it like a job or like a career. So I was like, oh, maybe I can. I've seen my friend coaching part-time, etc. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll go and take all the necessary cert. Yeah,
Did you
Singapore.
wanted to actually, because you're skating so much at that time, did you actually think that there was a possibility of going pro?
No, never, man. To me, skateboarding to me from day one is like a passion. I mean, I progress and maybe a little bit good at certain thing, But I never think of myself like, being able to be a pro. I just skate. If I happen to be pro, then it's a
Do you have
blessing.
like any video part or anything that you did? Like
I did like film like clips here and there, and then like all the Go Sport homie, they just like, compile it together. It's called like We Bleed Wood.
Alright.
Yeah, we have little like segment on like WordPress or something like that. I don't know. One of the dude
That's
called.
long time ago.
Yeah, that was old school, bro.
WordPress.
Yeah. So back then it's like old school. Yeah, WordPress guys. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, my friend they all were like compile parts, that we film weekly and stuff like that. And then there's like a little part that I have, which is like good memory. With all the homies, our skate trips overseas and etc. and then a weekly session. Yeah. So that's about it. So basically, that's how I started like Por Vida, I would say. Yeah, through the influence of my partner. And seeing like it can be done, like my fellow friends are already coaching, so I was just
You get your certs and everything like that.
I have to take the cert. Singapore is so strict, right? You need to do
You need to have the coaching
first
cert or whatever,
aid,
right?
coaching cert from sports council and etc. Yeah, so I took all that, and then I was like, okay, I got all this covered. Now I'm a legit coach. Okay, maybe I should focus on it. So I was juggling between working in the skate shop and coaching for like maybe the first 3 years. And then towards the 4th year, I was like full on.
Okay, the first 3 years you mentioned
Yeah.
about the coaching, right?
Yes, sir.
Your skate clinic, basically,
Yeah.
correct?
Yep.
When you started that, did you actually intended of using Somerset as a space, or was it just something that you thought of?
No, because like most of the I would say like students, especially for kids, right, or adult, like tricks are not something that they are very they are interested in. They're just more like, I want to skate ramps. When you watch like videos as a kid and you say, oh, going down the ramp or the bow is like cool. So definitely you need like a skate park. So sometimes I was like, doing flat ground for them as their basic. As they get better, then definitely need some like skate park, some ramps. So Somerset is like the most centralized.
Do you need permission for that? Or
No,
was
I
it-
mean
was
like
it-
it's an open space. Anybody can use it.
Okay.
So
okay.
yeah,
Public space anyway.
Yeah, it's a public space. So like, as long as you are cordial, you give space to public users, you're not hogging the space, everybody, coincide together and make it work. Yeah.
Oh, pretty interesting because you mentioned that not just they're learning how to push
Mm-hmm.
and then like cruise around,
Yeah.
but also they also want to learn how to, let's say, drop in and stuff like that.
Yeah. So when like, okay, example, you watch like a YouTube video or like watch an MTV, usually you see people like in the bowl or like flying, jumping downstairs, something like that,
Okay.
That's what get all the kids like intrigued
Uh-huh.
about skateboarding. It's not like just pedaling, cruising down the street,
Turning.
or tic-tacking. Yeah, but obviously they need to master their basic first, be able to control their board before they can progress on to, all the ramps, etc. Yeah, skateboarding is big, man. Like, wow, very wide.
No,
Yeah.
for me, the most interesting for us, like for instance, I know for I don't want to say core. We grew up skateboarding or BMX
Street.
riding street.
Yeah.
And it's so different from
Park
clinic.
skating. Yeah.
Because clinic is kind of like a lesson.
Yeah, yeah.
Every
It's
lesson
like
you
going
go,
to class.
Yeah,
It's like,
exactly.
I am
So-
learning something.
So you see, like what a lot of, like for us, I'm a street skater.
Yeah.
Yeah, like like DGK and then like street skating is like I relate to that brand. It's just pure street skating, but having like a mentor or having like someone to guide you, it kind of like speed up the learning curve. Yeah. So I'm not saying like like, oh, you must like learn skateboarding through a teacher. But what I can see is like first you have someone to guide you, someone to lighten up your fall by holding you. Yeah, and then like be a spotter, like seeing your mistakes, etc.
Okay.
So it's in a way like I can see like example from my journey, from being able to control a board to being able to jump. Maybe like I'm doing a proper ollie over something, it takes me like maybe 2 or 3 years.
Correct.
But as for kids, within like maybe a week, if they have a lesson a couple of times a week, within a week they can like
The
roll.
progression rate is much
they
faster.
can tic tac, they can carve on the board pretty smooth. And coming like drop in, like when last time, I don't know, when you guys going down ramp for skateboarding, going down, dropping in, learning for the first few times, definitely you're gonna eat shit. And then you're gonna fall and you're gonna home with like bruised ass.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, like purple ass for a couple of days. Maybe like sprain your leg or something. Or when you fall back, you hurt your wrist. Things like that, you can like minimize by, parents paying a little bit more for tuition fee like a teacher to help you, expedite and make sure that your kid learn like safely.
Okay,
Yeah.
my question is, how could that be translated into street skating?
Street skating. Oh, okay. So in Singapore, I think it's a little bit sensitive. You know, like you
You
bring.
said the whole core thing, right?
Yeah. So it's a very like gray line. So you want it to be professional, but you don't want to endanger the student's life. So you cannot, so far in my 13 to 14 years of coaching, only when the parents give me the green light, say, okay, my son is bored of this skate park, maybe you should bring him or her outside to skate street. I was like, for sure, man.
Wait, there are parents like that?
Yeah. They are like super
Whoa.
close to me, like became like customer, become like family friends. They fully trust me, they know how I am as a person, and they trust their kid with me. So it's like bring him out, like, instead of
Beside
having
the skate park lah.
yeah, just no, like bring him to your skate spot, local skate spot, like grind marble curb somewhere. Yeah, illegally. Yeah,
Shall not disclose.
yeah. So
Right.
I pre-warned the parents. I said, when I bring him out and we skate street, sometimes we get kicked out, sometimes we get harassed by
Hassle,
cop.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
and
I
like
mean, get the full experience. Man.
yeah, it's a full,
package,
it's a full,
package
it's a
anyway.
full package, So he said, yeah, let him experience it, like let him be like a real skater. I was like, oh, I love that. I love the idea, but maybe out of like few thousand customer I have, maybe only like a handful of parents will allow me to do such things for their
How does
kid.
that make you feel?
I love it, man. Like when a kid can connect with me at that level of skating down the street together, we chit chat, like me and my homies. It's like another level of experience, like
Alright.
yeah,
I think it's like you're reliving your time when you
Yeah, like
skate
a
during
bond.
young.
yeah. I see
You're
him
like
like
you're reborn again. They're like
cruising down the street, avoiding pedestrians, oiling up a little curb. I was like, wow.
But how do you go with them to the locations?
So I'll always be behind them.
yeah, but
I'll
you
be-
transport them or you take the public transport with them?
No, we just cruise.
Or just cruise
So, for
around?
example, okay, I meet you at Somerset, warm
Yeah,
up.
exactly lah.
Yeah, and then we like just cruise down, like the usual skate spot.
Oh, you cruise down to Dobby God.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But
Yeah.
beside Dobby God there.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
So it's a whole journey. So from like Somerset, there's always Istana Park, the marble ledges, beautiful ledges. Then you go down to Dobby God, jump some stairs, a little bit of kicker, and then you can go further on. You got SMU marble ledges again,
Yep.
and then you end off maybe at Raffles Place, more marble ledges.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's like a whole journey. Yeah.
Journey of Marble
Yeah,
Legends.
journey of marble ledges and smooth ground. Yep, all the way down.
Now that's a smooth grind there.
Yeah.
That is a smooth one.
It's a journey, man, but it's fun. So like the kids, I think gets their interest level high. Yeah, rather than always going to a skate park, everything is pretty mundane. Like it's the same thing over and over.
Okay,
again.
you mentioned you're doing this for what? 13, you said 13
Yeah,
plus
13,
years, right?
14 years. Yeah.
Have you had people like your students per se, like, I don't want to say students.
Yeah.
Your students like who were in your year 1, year 2,
Yeah.
who you still are skating now?
Yeah,
Many
there's-
years later.
So there's actually one kid that really stand out up to now. He's a special kid. Yeah, just for privacy, I shouldn't drop his
No,
name.
of course not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he used to be really obese.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's like, he got special need, but through skateboarding, he found himself, and then he lost so much weight. He's like skinnier than me right now. He used to be huge. Yeah, and the parents also like I said, like really trust me. Like like when the parents and the kid having a rough patch, they always ask the coach, can you advise him, to take his meal, don't overskate, have rest days, blah blah blah. Focus a little bit on his education as well. Just don't neglect the education part. Just like skate every day. So yeah, throughout the whole journey till today, he's still with me.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it's been like maybe 7-8 years already. Yeah, he's a big boy now. Yeah, he travels by himself now, traveling to all the skate parks, come by my skate park, indoor skate park, and etc. And yeah, just watching him grow into a person and being mature.
Being a part of it as well.
Yeah, and then looking at him being healthy, found skateboarding and made him healthy and something that he loved and make him like grounded. I think it's a good thing, like skateboarding.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. Okay, let's go to the final part. We're gonna close up.
Sure.
Not close up, but anyway.
Close up.
Not close up lah.
So fast.
He can't wait to go home, bro. He's tired. It's been a long day, bro.
His donuts is looking at him already.
Yeah. It's like, camera off.
Yeah,
No way.
If you're gonna finish it.
It's good for tomorrow coffee, man.
Yes,
Good morning. Yeah, for
tell me
sure.
about it. You progressed from having the clinic to having now your own indoor skate park.
Yes, sir.
Tell us the journey of that.
Oof. I'm quite blessed. So actually, sometime before COVID, I was actually in the midst of planning with my partner. So she's the brain, meaning she's very good with like, you know, business and stuff like that. But for me, I'm good at what I do. I'm a coach, right? So I know, like, you know, building my team and stuff like that. That's my job. And then coaching. But for her, she's like the more BD side, you know, like business development side. So we talk. And then thankfully, as a blessing that I didn't do it. If not, I'll be bankrupt really. Yeah, because if you do it during COVID, remember you signed the lease and etc. and then you still need to pay the rent.
When did Por Vida start? I mean the indoor.
Uh,
When did you sign the lease for the indoor?
Indoor, let me try to recall back. So now I'm on the 3rd year of my lease. So 2022?
Okay.
Yeah. 2021,
after COVID,
yeah, right after
Right
COVID.
after COVID.
So yeah, so when, you know, it's a blessing. I didn't do it before COVID. I did it after COVID. So during the COVID, like 2 years, everybody is locked down. I have like a, you know,
You
good
planned
time.
it out,
Yeah, good time for me to like digest it and plan it and, you know,
Really execute
Yeah.
it properly. Yeah.
correct. Cause
Was it something that you wanted to do?
wow, it's a dream. You know, like it's a dream to have your own indoor space, but it's also a risk of, you know, like Singapore, the rental is really expensive and there's a lot of risk factor, you know, whether that my business can sustain, whether I can, you know, feed all my coaches, my team, you know, all the admin stuff that I have. Yeah. So I'm blessed, you know, throughout the journey till today, I'm still able to like being able to provide for all my stuff. You know, they are all being paid, yeah, and stuff like that. And the business is still going strong and everything is fine. I'm happy where I am. It doesn't make me as rich as like Eric Coston or Steve Berra. Yeah, you know, well, everybody.
It makes you rich in life, bro.
Yeah,
Rich in
fall
life.
under the same category
No.
of having your skate park.
Yeah, but the thing is like, you know, it's a blessing, it's an experience, you know, it's not easy running your own business for sure. You know, there's challenges, there's ups and downs. Yeah, but you know,
I've seen like throughout the years, there have been smaller indoor
Yep,
skate parks
yep.
that have come and gone
Okay.
over the years.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, over like you, I don't know lah. There was one at probably I think was Turf Club.
Okay,
Turf
like
City
Love
or
Skate
something.
Park?
Yeah, I think Love Skate Park.
Yeah,
There
SB.
was yeah,
The
there was
park
like-
is dope. Like it's by Barry and Gary.
Yeah.
Yeah, 418 guys. They are like dope, like OG skater, like kind of a few batches
But
before me.
compared to the size of what you have now, it's different.
Let's not compare. Compare is the thief of joy, you know. Let's not compare. Yeah, but I'm
Your space
blessed.
It's big.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm in skateboarding and like extreme sport in this space.
That's why
man.
every guys don't brag when it's big.
Yeah, be humble. You know, in life you need to stay humble, stay low key, bro. Yeah.
Just let people experience.
Yeah.
the park,
It's a decent space, I would say. I would just say it's
But
just a
it's
decent
something
space.
that it came across to you, or did you go finding for that space?
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
I know that the mall is new at that time as well.
So it's actually an old mall. Previously, it's called Pomo.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then they rebrand it or revamp it, and then they call it like Greet Mall. Yeah. So before that, I was looking at a couple of locations, but you know, definitely need some the space wise and make sure that it's like safe. The roof is high enough, and you know, no obstruction, etc., etc. So there's a lot of safety factors that I need to factor in. Yeah. So it took a while, but I'm blessed to find this place and then do my business.
How was it like trying to secure the insurance for the skateboarding part?
Oof, I mean,
That must have been tough.
yeah, I mean, insurance wise, definitely, you know, like because it's an extreme sport, yeah, you need to have that. Yeah, but I mean, it's just paperwork, you know. Companies out there are doing it for a lot of like, you know, all this kind of extreme sport and things like that. I need
You
to
have the indemnity form as well, right?
Of course. Well, when all these people, all whatever you say, it's all very sensitive, you know, to parents, like safety wise. Yeah, all these things have to be black and white. Yeah, I need to like protect my own ass and protect my student ass and my coach's ass as well.
What's okay? We go a bit to your business part.
Yes, yes.
What's your youngest range?
Okay, so
I'll give you time to.
sure. From previously when I was like starting off, my youngest student I said was like 2.5.
Wait.
Yeah. So 2.5, as long as they can move, I think the parents, as long as they can move and stand on 2 legs, the parents want them to be cool and like learn skateboarding, right?
2.5.
Yeah. So that was the youngest I ever taught, and the oldest I ever taught was 61. But okay, if like I have taken that lady, she's 67.
Jesus.
But I kind of like rejected her because I always, as for the elderly, I always do like a background check. I was like, oh, are you like, you know, active, mobile, or what are you doing in your life, you know? So the lady, the 67, the grandma was just saying that, oh, I just want to learn. I never do sport in my life.
Dude.
So I was a little bit skeptical, and I just told her, I said, I'm so really sorry that I have to reject you. because I don't want you to get hurt. You know, for me, I'm very truthful and I don't want to like, you know, just because business,
you
right?
don't want to sweeten the fucking thing.
Yeah, so I just don't want to like, you know, okay, just do it, man. Like it's gonna be fun, and then like she fall and then break something, and I'll be super guilty, you know, like oh, just because of
You
business.
cannot live with your conscience.
Yeah, that's the thing. Conscience is the word. Yeah. So I told her, sorry, like you know, you don't have like you know enough sports experience. I just tell her like you know in a very straightforward. I say like you know most of my students elderly, they have like you know they are cycling or running or do some kind of sport. At least I know that their psychomotor skills are okay.
They're active.
Yeah, they're active. Yeah, basically. So yeah, so the uncle or the granddad that I taught at 61, he's still like skydiving, scuba diving. So when he said that, I was like, all right, bro, you on? Yeah, for sure you can. Yeah. So on the first lesson, I just passed in the ball. I said, okay, this is the foot placement, body posture, and then off you go, bro.
I think
no
probably,
fear.
Probably his
Yeah, it's
form
like-
will be like totally red.
Yeah. So he was like really sketchy, like couldn't balance, but somehow it works for him. It worked out for him. He was like cruising, able to carve, and he was like super hype. I was like, wow, uncle, you got big balls, bro. Then that's when he was like, yeah, I do skydiving, bro. I diving, skydiving. Huh? At your age, I was like, impressive, man. I'm like,
But at
happy.
the same time, with all these students between the ages, you've also like gone through the whole celebrity.
I'm not okay. What people think or perceive, I don't know. I mean, I do have like a wide connection of friends from. I'm blessed, you know, through skating, through all the production or shoots that I do. I did movie, print ad, you name it. Like I done it all from the age of 14 to I'm now 40. Yeah, I'm 40 this year. So throughout all these years, I've been doing you know all these sideline gigs. To me, it's just like to get extra money to get by and you know buy more skateboard, buy more skate shoe at my prime when I was like young, you know. Like you know, this is extra bonus money. Yeah, you do a shoot, you get paid like between like few hundred to like few thousand.
Correct.
Yeah, it's good money, so I just do that. And I never see myself like you know a lot of people will be like, oh, why don't you like pursue this full time? It's never my thing. Like what you say about like professional skating or being a celebrity or a star, it never come across to me. I'm always a very chill, low key guy. So if this thing work out for me, it's just like an extra bonus. So I don't go and like I don't reach out for it. I don't go, you know, like searching for this kind
You
of
don't
deal.
go out of your way to go. and-
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I just be myself. Yeah. If this happened, it happened.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, this is a very rare sight to see in the skating or the BMX community where somebody is really passionate. No,
The thing is,
Like-
I asked him at the beginning, like, when you start skateboarding, was there an idea of you wanting to go pro?
Yeah.
yeah,
You get-
and he doesn't have that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a fresh story, you know. Like
For real?
like some
No, because some people
like I want to
like,
be
we
pro, man.
interviewed a
Okay.
few
Good.
people who,
Okay.
who want the idea was to go pro.
Okay.
So it's I mean at the beginning of your skateboarding or BMX career,
Yeah.
or when you started it as a hobby, right? The
Yep.
idea is
Yep.
because you're always looking at pros.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
So you
Fair
kind of
enough.
wanna emulate or
Yeah.
you wanna go towards that direction. Of,
True.
I wanna go pro or something
True.
like that. But in your direction, you want to actually, which is one thing I'm proud of you for, is that you want to inspire the next generation
Yeah.
by
it's
your
fun.
clinics and
Yeah.
whatnot. And to even now, like I said, you did skateboarding clinics in an open public skate park.
Yep.
And now to the
Spaces
point
and
where
stuff.
you have your own skate park.
No,
Yep.
but the thing is, what I love about this is he turned his passion into something like a career, you know.
Yep.
And it really, it doesn't make maybe like not much.
Yep.
But he makes a lot of connections, which is a beautiful thing.
Yeah. I'm
And that's
just
what
happy
skating is
that
all about, though.
I can provide like a job, you know, for my staff
Yep.
who are all like passionate skater themselves, you know, and things like that. Like, you know, they can work. Some of them are with me for a good like 6-7 years.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm blessed to have a nice, solid team, you know, that are still with me. Those guys that are still with me right now. I'm thankful for that. And then like, you know, I can provide for them in a way like, you know, they work for me, I give them a job and life goes on, man. They keep skating, they have a family and etc. Yeah. Yep. Everybody needs to work, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's like, where are you going? I'm going to skate, not work, you know, I'm going to skate.
Alright.
Like
Yeah,
that's,
yeah.
that's his passion, you know. Like it's very hard to find people with this kind of careers and passion
Yeah,
that
just-
merge together.
Blessed to have the opportunity to do so, have the idea, you know, coming from my partner, you know, encouraging me, having my back, you know, through ups and downs, good times and bad times. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. Wow, that's amazing.
Yep.
Okay, let's do the final segment.
Sure.
Now then final.
Yeah, no. I said closing. No, it's the final part.
Brother, want to go home?
Biscuits. Me want some cookie.
Share the cookie with the kids at home.
Yes, I will. No, actually, no. This is mine. This is mine.
All mine.
Oh my.
Me also, I just eat myself.
You have gone through paces where you've done other sports as well. You've done like fixed gear you mentioned earlier. Offline. And
Yep.
then you've now, like I've seen the last few years,
Yeah.
you've gone into road cycling.
Yep.
Like you ride like road cycling, like you go.
I ran that from the furthest I ever did, like one sitting is like from here to Malacca, like 200, and I did 260 km.
Woo.
Yeah, with a couple of homies, like total like 6 of us. One day we were just like, hey, yo, should we do something crazy, man? Like all the boys, and they're like, yeah, let's go, man. Like, where to? So let's go eat some good food in Malacca. So, they were like, hell yeah, let's go, man. To our partner, to our wife, I said, all right, 6 boys are going somewhere far. They thought like, oh, like round island that we always do in Singapore, like 150, 170 km. So now we're going to Malaysia, like Malacca. They were like, what? All my homies are, those non-cyclists would be like, wow, I ride there, or I take a car or a shuttle bus. It's like long. But you guys gonna cycle there? I said, yeah.
The
man.
rolling hills must be problematic, sir.
The rolling
The
hills.
rolling hills, rabak.
But how long did it take you guys?
We met up around 4:30 a.m. We got to our hotel around like 8 p.m. Yeah, bro. That's how long the whole journey was.
Because I know the rolling hills in Malaysia.
The rolling
Yeah.
hills, the weather, we met like
Crosswinds.
five times of rain throughout the whole rain, sunshine, blazing hot sun, rain. Yeah, it's like mix. We are like drenched throughout to our shoes. And then when we reached the hotel, we were like, the soul departed already. Every ounce of our energy, we have already put it on the road. We were safe, like nobody met any accident, no punctures or everything like that. All the drivers in Malaysia, they are really, really sweet. Way better than Singapore's driver. They are very forgiving, very caring, they give way to us. So we reached there safe and sound. So from fixed gear, shitty knee, after my op, I can't continue riding fixed. So transit to the dark side in the Lycra, which is road cycling. Yeah, I never see myself wearing tights. Yeah, so as a skateboarder, it's always street, fixed gear, street style.
So
Then
did you ever try Lycra with skateboarding? No.
no. Oh my god! I think all my friends, all my friends and homies is gonna judge me so bad, man.
Imagine him wearing
Like some Superman outfit, right?
My name is Borat.
Bro, no underwear, bro.
Aerodynamic, bro. Dropping in with like Lycra.
Why is Pham so fast? Oh, you're wearing
Because I'm in my
Lycra, bro.
thighs, bro. So what happened? So from road cycling, sometime in 2024, I joined a race. It was a 140 km race in Malacca as well. But this time I didn't cycle there. Of course, I took a shuttle.
I was about to say whether you cycled
Yeah,
there.
you cannot do dumb things too many times. So with a couple of homies, went there and I did something so stupid. I went and adjust my saddle the night before my race, which is the silliest thing, the dumbest thing to do. And then 140 km race, 10 km in, my lower back like seized. Yeah, I just couldn't find a sweet spot, for my jewel below my back. And the whole journey, I think I adjusted my saddle like 5 to 6 times.
Oh man.
And then it was a terrible. Finished the race, came back, my knee was busted. I think it's due to the adjustment of the saddle. I lost my mojo, and then became really unhealthy, out of shape. Just one day I was like traveling with my in-law, and I was looking at myself in the hotel room. I was like, oh my god, is this what I'm going to become? And I went down to the lobby. I said, is there a gym right here? Then they're like, oh yeah, there's a gym. I was like, is it open 24 hours? I said, yeah, all right, man. So it was like midnight, almost 1 a.m. I told my partner, I said, I'm going to hit the gym. Then she was like,
1 a.m.
Your wake up call was at 1
yeah,
a.m.
I was like, yeah, it was late.
Wake up call.
I came back, I was like, had a solid meal, I was like, oh my god, I can't continue doing this. So I saw this treadmill. I was like, trying to figure out how to on that shit, and I got on. Just run for like maybe try to run like a 2.4. I was dying, my heart almost came out, along with my dinner. And then my wife was just looking at me and said, what are you doing, bro? I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, man. I just want to exercise. So from that very treadmill session in, I think 2024, I think around June or July.
The running thing now.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just from that day onwards and fast forward to now.
Running.
Yeah, running. So I've been running for like 6 months by myself. Then my wife is like, why are you a loser? Like you got no friends running. I said, maybe you should join some run club and things like that. I said, I don't know when I'm doing it right or wrong. Yeah, I just run first, get at least my base running good before I join some club or some crew. I don't want to be like dropped and I don't want to look like a loser, you know. So I
the whole
like,
drop thing is real, dude.
yes,
whole
of course.
drop thing
Yes,
is real.
in cycling, road cycling is real. In running is
It's
real
real.
too. Yeah, and the pain. So that's why I want to get like, you know, I'm blessed that my endurance from road cycling for the past 9 years is still there. So I just need to like transit to the whole body movement rather than just seated, you know. Like riding is seated, while running is like a whole body kind of thing. So yeah, like I've been running for almost like 10 months, 11 months now, and been joining one of my homies group called JPG. Shout out to them, like Jolly Pace crew and Jolly Pace group. Then yeah, I've been running with them every Wednesday. So it's very fun, nothing about speed, nothing about, you know, pace or whatever. It's just a solid crew, just down for the fun of running. No judgy people, you know, no like, you know, looking at your gear, whether you're rocking the fastest carbon plated shoe.
No
Yeah.
fucking paper or whatever.
Yeah, no paper fly or whatever. You come, you just do the run, everybody come together, everybody finish together, and then we go for our dinner.
Yeah.
Good vibes.
Just before we close,
Yes.
share with the audience.
Yeah, what's up?
How many kilometers do you run this week already?
My wife will be pissed. So I told her usually I'll run like 30 km. But this week I already ran like 55. But well, it's a Monday, so the data reset. So I'm actually reset. Yeah, so I'm actually like 0 km right now. So I'm safe, right? Yeah, for the whole last week was I saw on Strava, I was like, 55 km. I was like, okay, a little bit overshot. Because I set like a target. The minimum I put like 30. So it became like a 55. I was like, oh, shit.
Fucking KC nice stats every day run.
Yeah, KC, you know KC?
Yeah, KC,
Yeah,
you
the
know.
barber,
Yeah.
the gangster dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is cool,
He
man.
run also like
Yeah, he love it. Like we met like I think once or twice on like some run. Yeah, he's a solid guy. Yeah, he's like lean, he's fast, he's a rocker, man. I like the mentality. He's like rad.
crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. All right, Min.
Alright.
You wanna close this?
Alright, so thank you, Sweaty Pham, for
Yes,
the show.
sir. Thank you
And
guys
you
for having
guys tighten your decks, tighten your wheels, but never have any loose bearings. See you
That's
guys
right.
on the next episode.
Roll the music. Roll the music.
Yeah. Peace. Alright. Fun. Easy. That's nice. Oh yeah. Nice one. Hope I didn't bore you guys. You know, okay.
And then when you talked about the community part, then
Yeah.
like, yes.
Yeah.
Wow, that was that middle.